way, though. No.
You know what game I'm talking about, dog? Involves ginger.
If the mods want to get a link to that, they can link it in the chat right now. And so, Eric, I don't know if you can track that down from Jeremy the Cyborg. You guys can link that in the chat. And maybe in a later date we can. But yeah, just because like Gary got hit for the Black Snape AI video.
Nice.
That took his stream
Those a bunch
down.
of fucking kids.
Crazy. It's absolutely insane. So yeah, we just gotta be careful.
Killed a bunch of
so no more DJ JD Advance. I said no, we gotta pre-screen it first to make sure there's nothing that's gonna trigger their crazy AI. Graptar's Hammer for 20 says Trump, get out of there and go get Culver's. Spare yourself. Culver's is the GOAT. It's kind of okay. Again, In-N-Out is close, but Culver's is still the GOAT. It just is. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Alan Tanassi says, I'm always watching. I don't super chat as often as I used to back in the old days, but when I do, you know, things are going good. Good. Tagging you now. I will check it out, Alan Tanassi. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Anthony Gaming says, I don't know about Xbox, about Showcase. I thought it was all right. I don't know much about it. Is that what you're trying to say? I barely kept up with Xbox's Showcase. However, Tuesday night's main event, we're going to discuss the Xbox Showcase, the PlayStation State of Play, and the Nintendo Direct that is rumored to be for Tuesday.
The child must die.
There's a lot of gaming news to talk about, so we will. Speed Force says, I can't post member emojis in chat. You're not a member anymore? Is that why? Jeremy and Eric talking in the chat. Good stuff. Okay. Maybe some gifties will start flying for you, Speed Force. Darth Manic says, looking sexy, Jeremy. Keep it up. If this would have been a 50, it wouldn't have been that uncomfortable, but since it's a 5, I'm very uncomfortable. Oh, you're still a member and you can't post member emojis? What's up with that? That's weird. Lapco says, I want to send bigger super chats, but I'm a little short. Can you spot me a few grand so I can send you a $50 super chat? You seem awfully helpful. Can somebody send a 50 and just say Lapco 92 in it? Like, that way Lapco 92 is covered. I'm just trying to help you out, brother, okay? I'm trying to help you out. Let's see. Mod Eric says, Jeremy got excited. He thought it was raining men. Speed Racer says, FYI, the Peanut Butter Falcon is free on YouTube. I didn't know that. Chat. The Peanut Butter Falcon is free on YouTube. I talked about this movie the other night on CobraCast. If you have not seen it, you should. And it's free on YouTube. So there you have it. So you can't send emojis either. What the hell? That is weird. Gary, are you still here? Or Eric, did you see any issues with Ryan's stream or Gary's stream with member emojis? You can't use them? That's crazy. Reload YouTube, says Liberty Prime. It says rent or buy. So is it not free? Huh. That's weird. Okay, some people are. Some people are. Shred Bear says, appreciate you. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Not free for me. Well, where are you at? Are you in Australia? Maybe it's free in Australia then. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's free for you. They are working now. I do see them. Okay. And there's the link for Jeremy the Cyborg's video right there. Mod Eric has dropped it. There we go. Luis says, it's a lot of rain, not a little rain. Fake news lies to you. In your face. Smash JT says, cheers, Jeremy. Thank you so much for all you do, brother. Have a great rest of your weekend. Look at that, man. Smash JT. Good people right there. Mark Raleigh says, why don't they cover her face? Jeez, you could you blur her face out? Hazmat says, hey, Jeremy, I live in California, and it's fucking travesty what they have done to my beautiful state's voting system. It really is, man. It really is. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. SCJC says, number one thing I'll never forget from being while Sleepy Joe was the Resident Evil chief, having to sit in a 4-hour training where watching Secretary of Defense call us extremists. Did I say Resident Evil? Resident in Chief. I'm seeing people talk about video games right now. Somebody mentioned Code Veronica. I said Resident Evil in Chief. This is what happens when you cover so much shit. I'm blending politics into video games now because I'm excited about Code Veronica being announced. Back up. Number one thing I'll never forget from being in while Sleepy Joe was the Resident in Chief having to sit in a 4-hour training where watching Secretary of Defense call us extremists because we voted for Donald J. Trump. Jeremy's losing his mind. Jeremy talks about too much random shit on the internet, and sometimes I cross the streams. Let's see here. But anyway, thank you for this. Appreciate you. Appreciate you right back. Thank you. John Phillips says, emergency super chat test stream. This is crucial. This is crucial. We need to test it out. John freaking Murdoch takes Sundays off. Okay. So we have to test things out for Monday when he returns. Okay. We also haven't seen Scully. We haven't seen Zwanny. So we have to check to make sure Nandy hasn't been here. You know, JMNZZ for 50 hasn't been here. So we got to test things out for Monday. I'm just trying to help out. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay. So I'm a nice guy. Okay. Delona is here. Says never cross the stream. If you know, you know. What up, Delona? Lord Botha says, I would trust her to make a curve. Mudkip says, hail Cornboy in his Mario Kart stream live now. Let's go, Cornboy. Solo Felix says, did you see Razor Fist interview with John Schaefer? I did not. Packet Proton says, are we merging our military with Israel? If so, why? Alan Tanasi says, shout out to to the fellow J6ers, some of who I know personally serve time. They should all get paid. They absolutely should. Mellow Yellow says, that. Thank you. Mellow Yellow is insulting the chat with a super chat, which I approve of. Okay. Thank you, Mellow Yellow. Well, whatever for 5 says Rumble rants work. Look at that. Kick chat ain't been too nice tonight, but that's okay. We're not going to go full DSP or anything like that. Okay, let's talk about some other stuff that's going on really quickly because there is a lot more going on, not just a Trump interview. So earlier today, we got reports that Iranian strikes on Israel and President Trump did respond. You've shot your missiles. That's enough. Get back to the table and make a deal. This is what President Trump had to say in response to Iran launching missiles over Israel.
Launching missiles toward Israel right now. Trey Yingst is on the breaking developments. He is in Tel Aviv. Trey.
Yeah, John, good afternoon. Iran has launched at least 4 waves of missiles at Israel in response to those IDF strikes against the Lebanese capital of Beirut earlier today. I just got off the phone with President Trump, who is following the developing situation across the region. He told me what I would suggest to Iran You shot your missiles, that's enough. Get back to the table and make a deal. The president once again calling for a negotiated settlement. He also spoke about the ongoing negotiations with Iran, saying we are very close. I would say an agreement would be signed on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of this coming week. And now this takes place. And so the president will get briefed on what is happening right now, this ongoing Iranian ballistic missile attack against Israel. But I asked him about those initial IDF strikes that took place earlier today. He told me they were not coordinated with the United States. And I asked him for reaction to the Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Beirut. And President Trump said, I'm not happy about it. Now, more broadly, he said that the ongoing Iranian missile fire toward Israel at this moment certainly is not going to help the negotiations. But again, he is calling on the Iranians to stop firing these missiles and get back to the negotiating table to ultimately reach a settlement. The president talked about the power of the U.S. military.
He's the father of a bunch of spoiled brats, is what Trump is. That is where he's at. Now you have people like Mark Levin, who says, why are we turning on Israel and Netanyahu tonight? Wow. Mark Levin is the equivalent of the anti-Israel crowd on the opposite side, because you have the anti-Israel crowd that are just like, everything is Israel's fault. Every problem in my life is Israel's fault. Everything that's ever happened to me, it's all because of Israel. Mark Levin is the complete opposite of that, where he just thinks that Israel is the greatest thing that's ever happened, and they are responsible for every positive thing that has ever happened. He is the exact thing, just on the complete opposite side. He's a lunatic. Ben Shapiro's a lunatic. Dave Rubin's a lunatic on that side. And so, we're getting to see all of this play out. All right, here we go. This is about 5 hours ago, so we're a little, behind on some of this stuff. But
in Israel, just turning around, there are still alerts coming out from Israel's Home Front Command at this moment. But we are getting a new statement, John, right now. I just want to read it to you from Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps that said their attacks on Israel this evening were a, quote, warning of broader response that would encompass all U.S. and Israeli targets in the region if aggressions are repeated. And a senior Iranian official speaking to Reuters says all U.S. bases in the region will be considered legitimate targets for Tehran if Israel attacks. So again, following 4 waves of Iranian ballistic missiles that targeted Israel's third largest city of Haifa.
So what's left in this game to do?
The region is bracing to see if Israel will respond. This was a significant attack against the civilian population of Israel, John.
I mean, to me, do you know what Israel is to the world of politics? They're the Dallas Cowboys. Completely, overhyped and overrated by the people that love them, and completely overhyped and overrated by the people that love them or hate them. Israel's the Dallas Cowboys of politics. That's exactly who Israel is. And I've always been whatever about the Cowboys. I don't have a strong opinion on the Cowboys positively. I don't have a strong opinion of them negatively. And so, wait, Jeremy, you said overrated doesn't exist. I said overrated and underrated exist in sports. It always has. I've always argued that. Overrated and underrated is a sports term. That's what it is. Because there's actual statistics that you can use to back up the overrated and underrated argument.
Dog, do you get to pilot the Mac?
You're essentially just saying too many people like the movie. I think that using overrated for subjective opinions is retarded. But overrated, underrated applies to sports debates and sports arguments. Always has. Now, going back to the Dallas Cowboys, yes, that's
what are you
Israel. And Jerry Jones is the
It's in the game.
of NFL owners. It makes perfect sense. It makes so much sense. Oh, it's so good. Jerry Jones is a Netanyahu. It's perfect. It's perfect. Yes, I love this shit so much. I love it. This is working good. Okay, here we go. President Trump is calling Netanyahu and telling him to not strike back against Iran per Axios.
launching missiles toward Israel right now. Trey Yingst is on the breaking developments. He is in Tel Aviv. Trey.
Who are the cheerleaders? That would be Ben Shapiro, Dave Rubin, and Mark Levin. And at least one of them sucks a lot of dick. I'm not going to tell you which one, but I think you already know.
Yeah, John, good afternoon. Iran has launched at least 4 waves of missiles at Israel in response to those IDF strikes against the Lebanese capital of Beirut earlier today. I just got off the phone with President Trump, who is following the developing situation across the region. He told me what I would suggest to Iran. You've shot your missiles, that's enough. Get back to the table and make a deal. The president once again calling for a negotiated settlement. He also spoke about the ongoing negotiations with Iran, saying we are very close. I would say an agreement would be signed on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of this coming week. And now this takes place. And so the president will get briefed on what is happening right now, this ongoing Iranian ballistic missile attack against Israel. But I asked him about those initial IDF strikes that took place earlier today. He told me they were not coordinated with the United States, and I asked him for a reaction to the Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Beirut.
So we're just kind of going over some of these clips right here. President Trump just said Israel better not strike back against Iran or the peace deal is screwed. He tells Axios if Bibi strikes them back, it's just going to keep going like the last 47 years or the last 3,000 years. The Iranian strikes on Israel didn't hurt anybody. Hopefully Israel is not going to retaliate. We are very close to a final deal with Iran. It is going to be a good deal. I don't want to blow it up because of what is happening. 47 is calling Netanyahu saying, don't strike. President Trump says U.S. military is now on high alert after Iran struck Israeli in 4 ballistic missile waves. Israel is meeting right now to decide if they will respond and how. Trump does not want Israel to fire back. President Trump is in New Jersey and is now holding consultation with his security team, deciding the next steps following Iran's ballistic missile attack on Israel. Trump just spoke with Netflix Yahoo. 47 originally said the deal was within reach possibly by the middle of this week. Utter chaos is breaking out. Now it's going to be up to Israel if they listen to Trump or attack and bet on diplomacy failure.
Now this, and he is holding consultations with his security team. I am told.
Gar Bear 199 says never ceases to amaze me that Jeremy cannot read. Well, you could have said can't read, but you said cannot read. So go fuck yourself.
By a senior U.S. official, and I asked the president about the Israeli strike on Hezbollah in Beirut earlier today. He told me that was not coordinated with the United States, and that he is not happy about it. The region,
Like, who says cannot? Like, what do you like? Do you hold your pinky out when you say that? Cannot read. He cannot read. Who the fuck talks like that? Just say can't, like a normal person. No one says cannot. He cannot read while I'm holding my latte, laughing. Cannot.
It is now waiting to see if the Israelis will respond to these waves of ballistic missiles that targeted their northern cities, including the 3rd largest Israeli city of Haifa. But what we saw earlier today in an effort by the Israeli air defense systems to shoot down the incoming fire. Tonight we can report that Iran's foreign minister is speaking with regional counterparts about the situation right now. And the IDF spokesperson released a TV statement earlier today indicating...
Yeah, like, come on, man. Like, okay, just to be clear. Okay? Famous philosopher. The famous philosopher who had a statue built, okay? Who also had a golden casket for his untimely death. Famous philosopher George Floyd. He didn't say, I cannot breathe. He said, I can't breathe. Okay? He didn't say, I cannot breathe. He said, I can't breathe, brother.
And schools across Israel tomorrow will be closed. He said Iran is trying to create a new equation when it conducts direct fire on our territory. In response, the IDF will attack in relation to the current security protocol. And so, again, this is a political decision ultimately that will be made by Israel in terms of whether or not there will be a response. But the latest information that we have 4 waves of Iranian ballistic missiles targeted Israel tonight in response to the IDF strikes on Hezbollah in southern Beirut earlier today. President Trump telling Fox News that he has a message for Iran. He says, you've shot your missiles, that's enough, get back to the table and make a deal.
Now, again, a lot of this, and thank you guys for back and forth, so again, a lot of this was several hours ago, this 4 hours ago. I don't know if we have any, I'm sure there are updates, so you're probably aware of some of these updates. I'm still looking to see if there is, let's see, Trump says Netanyahu won't have any choice but to accept a U.S.-Iran deal, declaring, I call all the shots. That's my president right there. Trump just saying it like it is. I call all the shots. That's the man. And here it is right here. President Trump says he calls all the shots, not Israel. I decide everything. He doesn't decide. Netanyahu will have no choice but to accept an Iran deal. I call the shots. I call all the shots. Bibi does not. 47 is now holding discussions with his team on New Jersey per Fox and originally hoped for a peace deal this week. The region is now waiting to see if Israel responds to these wave of ballistic missiles. There you have it. Right there. Trying to see. Put something outside. Making sure. Is it weather? I don't know what the hell that is. Anyway, okay, we're good. But now the anti-Israel crowd probably not very happy about this. Now the anti-Israel crowd is probably like, well, hold on just a minute. This is exactly what Israel told Trump to say so that you would think that Trump was in charge, okay? That's it. So Israel is actually telling Trump to say this so that you won't think that Israel's in charge, okay? That's where we're at with this. So they're actually saying, hey, Trump, you need to tell everyone that you decide so that they won't know that we decide. Pretty smart on their end, I gotta be honest. Pretty smart. Now you got everybody posting it. President Trump, Netanyahu will have no choice but to accept an Iran deal. I call the shots. I call all the shots. Bibi does not. What a creepy piece of shit. Like, look at... I've said it 1,000 times. I will say it again. He's the mall kiosk guy of world leaders. What do I mean by that? How many of you have ever been to the mall? You're walking, and all of a sudden, the mall kiosk guy makes eye contact with you. You're like, oh, fuck, he's got me in his laser beams, and you can't get away. Once he's made eye contact, it's over. And suddenly, he's gonna sell you some shit. And you're like, I don't, no. And he's like, no, let me show you this, let me show you this, let me show you this. It's like, yep, mall kiosk guy of world leaders right there. And this is the look that mall kiosk guy gives you. Where he's like, you like these cell phone cases there, buddy? You're like, no, I don't want your cell phone case. I don't want a back rub. I don't want anything to do with anything you're selling. Mall, kiosk, Aura, bro. Yes, 100%. More like tractor beam eyes. Okay, let me catch up. Where are we at here? Twitch Clown says, Chef Trump, let's freaking go. Crap Our Tamer says, Sean Connery, sometimes you have to give them a little slap. McIver says, this is a test for $2. Thank you. Bubba Doom says, grip test. This is a $100 super chat. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. VJ the Vigilant says, this is just a test. So here goes. Gay. Sparky says, testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dr. Down says, Fortnite stream. Need to watch y'all losing again. Bro, we won like the first 5 matches last night, okay? We won the first 5 matches, or was it 4? Maybe it was 4, and then we finished second, and then we won again. So the first, maybe it was 5 out of 6. We were crushing. Commodore fan says Freddy's Steak Burger is the best chain burger in my area here in South Carolina. The rewards program is really good. I like Freddy's Burgers is really good. I've only had it a few times, but I have definitely liked it. It to me is not on the level of Culver's, but nothing is. But Freddy's is very good. I will say it's a very good burger. Moogeronic says control Trump so good. Israel controls Trump so good. He tells them what to do. Soundwave Superior says Halo on PlayStation tax. Oh yeah, well, I mean the fact that that was even announced back in the day was crazy. Daniel says Israel allegedly just bombed Iran. Like, did it just happen? Do we have any updates? Trump's gonna be so pissed if that happened. He's gonna be so mad. Let's see here. Do we have confirmation? All right, here we go. Here we go right here. Fire and smoke reported across Iran after Israel launched new strikes, including against the whatever airport. President Trump recently said he was not happy about Israel striking Hezbollah in Beirut and did not want Israel to launch this attack tonight. Explosions heard across multiple cities. Trump now has some big decisions to make. All eyes on him. It is getting good.
Belonging to the Iranian regime in western and central Iran. This comes hours after Iran launched at least 4 waves of missiles at Israel. It's the first time since an early April ceasefire was implemented. Israel says all missiles were intercepted and is now vowing to deliver a powerful response. Tehran claims the attack was in retaliation for Israel's deadly strike on Beirut on Sunday, and Israel insists it is going after Hezbollah in Lebanon because Iran-backed group keeps firing missiles into northern Israel. So President Trump says Iran strikes are certainly not going to help negotiations on the ending war front. And then he told Tehran to get back to the table and make a deal. The president also says he's not happy about Israel's attack on Beirut, and he was reportedly urging Israel's prime minister not to strike back against Iran, though that appears to not have happened. Again, if you're just now joining us, Israel's military says its Air Force is striking military targets belonging to the Iranian regime. This is in western and central Iran. This comes hours after Iran launched at least 4 waves of missiles at Israel, and it's actually the first time since an early April ceasefire was implemented. For more on all this, we're going to bring in a former...
So that's where we are. That's where we are right now. This is all reporting, and I've seen some other reports. Now, Trump has not said anything on True Social. So we're just going to be on standby waiting for what Trump is going to say. I'm hoping we get another one of the they don't know what the F they're doing. That's very reminiscent of this. And you all remember that. They don't know what doing. We all remember this moment right here from the great President Trump. And this is what it's like dealing with the Middle East.
So you can rewind when you're not racing.
But Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as
So what does that look like for another player?
They dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I've never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on it. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because the one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
All that time, that was 11 months ago, and it still applies to this day. It still applies to this moment right here.
Perhaps by mistake that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
So true. And so all this time later, we are back to that bullshit all over again. Oh, we live in a simulation. Lapco says, can we get a happy birthday for Clint Eastwood? He's 96 today and announced he's retiring from Hollywood. Clint Eastwood is the definition of a legend in every sense of the word. And the fact that the man has made it to 96 years old, what a life. What a life. Right there, man. What a legend. 96. It's incredible. By the way, I am caught up on Dutton Ranch. It's getting so good. Now, again, if you have not seen any of the Yellowstone stuff, you don't need to jump into Dutton Ranch. You need to watch Yellowstone so that you can kind of understand what's going on.
Did I fucking ask you?
Yellowstone doesn't end great. It's still worth watching. I think the first couple of 3 seasons of Yellowstone are fantastic. But yeah, obviously, if you're going to watch Dutton Ranch, you need to know what happens in Yellowstone to prep you for this. But yeah, Dutton Ranch is very good. Right now, Dutton Ranch, it's right there with Landman. It's that good. It's that good. So it's really, really awesome. John Jones says, in your defense, the resident in chief was evil. Hey, I like that. I like that. Easy on spoilers, please. No spoilers. No spoilers. Marshals sucked. I watched the first episode of Marshals and I just didn't care to watch it anymore. Maybe I'll watch it when it's done, or maybe it's already done and I'll binge through it, but I don't care about watching that shit. So we'll see. Mellow Yellow, thank you for that 10. Agent M says that the former commander-in-chief was Oswell E. Spencer in Resident Evil 5. I didn't play RE5 that much. Speed 4 says it's a bug for phone users, Jeremy. Ah, there it is. Okay, well, at least we found out. Speed Racer says, yes, I'm in Australia, enjoying your show every time you come on. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's probably why yours was showing for free in your area, but not for everyone else. Let's see here. Marshall's sucks because Taylor Sheridan isn't involved. Is Taylor Sheridan not involved at all? Really? Like he's not even writing or anything? Lapco says, Iran and Israel are kids in the back seat slapping each other. Don't make Daddy Trump pull this car over. So tired of this crap. Grapcar Sermon says, Netflix Yahoo has Zelensky vibes. Pippy Bird says, I just cannot review Jeremy. River Miles says,
Faggot, stop playing the Go game, dude.
Laser beams. What up, River Miles? Good to see you, brother. Daniel says, keep digging a hole, Jeremy. Read the chat. Why would I do that? Doctor cannot. Where's my Zootopia 3 says, Israel is hitting Iran right now. Yep, I see that. Minister Ron thinks says Trump and Bibi are pretending to fight in order to attack key targets while maintaining the ceasefire by scapegoating Israel's disobedience. It's a work. Trump isn't owned by them. It's just the plan. I don't buy that. I appreciate that, but I don't buy that. I think that Netanyahu is a piece of shit. I think Trump realizes that, but he's kind of a necessary evil for Trump to deal with. But that would be my guess. I don't know either way. So, but your theory could be true. Could be true. Rock Bottom says Netflix Yahoo said F Trump, I run this show. Lapco says, hey Jared, once you read this, you will forget you were ever gay. I just freed up the rest of your June. You're welcome. Sorry to sorry to hurt your fantasies there, Lapco. John freaking Murray says, hey Jeremy, I'm still working. Listen, I think I super chatted enough yesterday for the next few streams. No? You see that? You see how this works? Manipulating me with a $400 super chat that I asked for. And he thinks I'm going to let him off the hook. The reality of it is, John, you never have to super chat me again when you've already done way too much. Is that the nice way of doing it? That would be the nice way of doing it. Right? Either way, John. You're good, brother. John takes Sundays off. He takes Sundays off. Dude dropped off. Hey, this is what I get for taking a week off. take a week off, and now John's like, I'm done. I found a better streamer to super chat, so I'm just gonna take a few days off. This is why YouTubers can't take days off. You take one day off, and your John freaking Murdoch finds another streamer. It's all good. You know that. Dr. Kanan says, read super chats. Did enough for 2 years. Did enough for a lot more than 2. Toddy says, she's just an NPC, evidence programmed bot. Dalu says, no. Zero says, did you steal Josiah's eyebrows? No, I've always had them, but you can barely see them. By the way, Mo Zamboni. Mo's here. Jeremy just ripped off the end of Batman Begins. Mo, the passable gamer was never that mad. I got that confirmed last night. He was never that mad at me. Even though I had to punish him for like 3 months, he was never that mad at you. But I still had to punish you for like 3 months, okay? That's just how it goes. So, Liberty Prime says, silly woman fatigue, repeal the 19th. Mike Hill says, Camila Mendez inspired by Daisy Ridley's Ray Palpatine for her Tila. Did she say that? Please don't tell me she said that. Truly Potato says that Gears of War E-Day looks amazing. I just bought the collector's edition. Gears of War is awesome.
Why are you fucking telling me this? Yeah, when did I fucking ask you that, huh? Yeah, how long ago was that? You fucking dyslexia? You fucking piece of shit. Yeah, it's not even coming out on fucking PlayStation, so I gotta wait.
I love the console war. I do love the console war. We need the console war to continue. We need more of that. By the way, So
Dog,
I was
play
planning on
Fallen
talking about
Order,
this
dog.
before all this stuff with Israel and Iran popped off, but man, Asmongold is like Asmongold is finding himself in a lot of like controversy right now.
No.
Mainly from his own chat.
No,
too,
it's a
by the way.
it's a really good game. I like watching that game.
The whole story the other day with the YouTuber that
Well, I like
still
seeing
not
really
convinced
good
it's a real
graphics,
abortion, but,
really cool
you
lightsabers.
know, he obviously made those comments
Interesting
that he
story.
would do the same thing if he had a Down syndrome, you know, kid, he would get rid of it as well. And then today, Asmongold clashes with his
Like
chat
seeing
after stating
seeing
he
news stories,
supports
you know.
abortion at 9 months. What? That is crazy. I think that's a decision that doctors should make. I think that the overall majority of people that would be terminating 9-month-old pregnancies probably are doing so because of some dramatic and unexpected crazy. Like,
They
let's
took
just hear what he
over
has
the
to say. This is crazy.
dog.
Do you think terminating a 9-month-old pregnancy should be allowed?
The world
Yeah.
is being taken over, dog.
The reason why is because I think that's
Bro put on a rainbow-colored shirt and lost his mind. It just takes one rainbow-colored shirt, and he's lost his mind.
They come from another galaxy, dog.
yeah, no, I mean, I just, it's a very easy decision. Sickening? Well, let me explain.
They're all reptiles.
So the reason why I'd be okay with it is because I think that the overwhelming majority of people that would be terminating 9-month-old pregnancies would be people who probably are doing so because of some dramatic, unexpected, crazy change of, like, let's say the kid, for example, has manifested some sort of debilitating illness that makes it, you know, non-viable.
Why is he bringing up the slimmest situation possible? Like, this is very rare that these things, the majority of people that are getting this done, I'm choosing the worst.
Why did you do that,
The
dog?
majority of people that do this evil thing are doing it for their own selfish fucking reasons.
Why
Very,
did you
very,
do
statistically
that?
speaking, very few of these situations have to do with health. Very, very few. And while I know it's still a divided topic,
Sure do.
while people feel very strongly about this,
I'm surprised they didn't put out a GTA 6 trailer. They're supposed to have it in the trailer.
A extreme health reason. The problem is that is such a, statistically speaking, that is such a rare occurrence. That has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. This has everything to do with
Isn't that
selfish
amazing, dude?
pieces of shit that
What
do
the
this
ways?
because the child is an inconvenience.
Ain't
to
that the
them
best
and
thing in the
life
world,
that they
dude?
want to live.
Right? And I think this happens, right? Is that
Honestly,
kids
better than
manifest
anything.
illnesses, you know, like very, very, very late on.
See, the problem with this
Good.
right now, this is a leftist tactic.
Yeah, dude.
This is a 100% a leftist
How about you
tactic.
fucking use your
By-
damn
by
wheel, you
finding
fucking
the most
faggot.
extreme
Guy buys a
rare
wheel and
case
doesn't use it on a
scenario
fucking racing
and
game, dude. What a
pretending
fucking...
that is the predominant reason. This is extreme.
Oh, damn, dude. A wheel, damn. Too much steering.
It's
A
also
fucking racing game.
incredibly sad
Fucking
when
retarded.
that situation happens. It is
Fucking
not
retarded.
remotely close to the majority of these things.
Can you say that?
No, well, you think that doesn't happen?
Can you say that retarded
brain
thing you
damage
just
or
said
something
again,
like
dude?
that?
So I just want to fucking laugh again.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, just remove it.
No, the thing before.
like,
The thing
in those
before. What would you say?
circumstances, I
There's
think
too
that
much
it is
steering in the
morally
fucking
correct
racing
decision
game.
based off of my moral code to abort the baby at 9 months.
Oh
to
my god.
spare the baby
What am I
of a
fucking dealing? What
lifetime
level of autism do you have?
suffering and torture.
I love this idea that people that
Nice.
get rid of their babies
Nice.
are doing it
Nice.
for the baby. Do you really fucking believe that? Does
Nice.
anybody fucking
You fucking
believe
done? You done?
that? Nobody
You got more
actually believes
retardation
that
to
anybody's
spread.
making that decision because they care about the baby's life. That is such bullshit. The people that are doing this are doing this
Christ.
because they're selfish, evil pieces of shit. That's it. I go back to.
Yeah, dude, you want a reward for that? Huh?
Tim Tebow.
Fucking
Tim
loser.
Tebow's mother was told that she should abort him.
Yeah, dude, you
because
proud of yourself?
It was going to she may not survive the pregnancy. That's what she was told. She decided,
Nice.
I'm going to have my baby. Turned out to be one of the best human beings in our lifetime that we've ever seen. Tim Tebow,
Nice.
a
Look at
great
this fucking
human
idiot.
being.
Runs right
A
into somebody.
wonderful person who's accomplished many things and helped millions
Can't
of
even
people
fucking
around
drift,
the world,
dude.
and is truly a great example for a Christian
Oh,
in
shit.
this country. But she
You fucking
was
suck.
told by doctors,
That's my
if
point.
you
You
have this
suck.
kid, it could kill you. And she chose to have it. Don't give me this crap that the people
Yeah,
that do
dude.
this are doing it
Bet I
for
can drift
their
better than you.
child. Like, I don't want my child to have shut. You don't want your life inconvenienced. Therefore, you make this decision.
That's my opinion. That's very rare. It is very rare. I don't think that most people are going to be aborting their babies at 9 months. What if it's completely healthy? I think that having some babies be aborted that are completely healthy is a necessary sacrifice, and it's preferable than having a bunch of government oversight.
Bro. That is a absolutely mind-blowing take from him. I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that.
Having some babies be aborted that are completely healthy is a necessary sacrifice, and it's preferable than having a bunch of government oversight.
What the
So,
fuck?
in a perfect world, nobody would ever abort a baby at 9 months. Nobody would ever do that. Complete shit take? Well, no, it's just, this is just the truth. Like, you asked me the question, I'm giving you the answer. And this is a decision that everybody makes all the time. The only difference is that I'm okay just verbalizing it. I just simply say it. We all make decisions that have like, for example, everybody who's okay with the First Amendment makes it easier for
You
children to be
don't
killed
know
and murdered in
what you're
schools.
talking about.
I guarantee
dog.
you that if you went and you did a total police state lockdown and you used the military to remove guns from every single American and you succeeded in doing that, you would reduce the amount of children that are killed.
What are you talking about, Adam? What are you talking about? This is what, and again, I'm not saying he's a leftist. I'm not. And I have said this many times, and I will continue to say that
Know what I'm saying,
has
dog?
always been someone that I highly respect the fact that he is willing to have incredibly unpopular opinions, even
You know
when
what
his
I'm
chat is going
fucking
against him.
saying?
I've always said that. I don't always agree with Asman. I don't always agree with anybody, but Asman specifically, I've had major disagreements with, but I've always appreciated that he's willing to be as honest as possible. This is not honesty. This is evil. What his take is this isn't being honest. This is being like evil. This is an evil take, is what this is.
Dog, is this
Holy
a
shit.
parking lot,
Second, oh, did I
dog?
say Second Amendment? Yeah, well, either way, you would do that. But we are allowing children to be killed because we would rather have that freedom. That's exactly what's happening.
This game's a fucking
You should
lie.
acknowledge that because it's true. It's completely different. No, it's not.
False marketing
not
on
to
this
me.
bullshit, dude.
What I don't like, it's annoying that
There's
he's
no underground
attempting
parking
to
lots.
be incredibly calm, which comes off as condescending right now because we've heard
No,
him
there
talk
should be,
about
dude.
things before, and this is a very condescending response that he's having. This is a
Look, if you want to be a kid, fine, you're satisfied, okay?
It's okay.
But adults,
Very
no,
condescending. Yes,
adults, be a kid. Yeah, no, be a kid,
There's
dude.
no research, no brain thing. Well, I mean, again, like if there's a lot of people that are angry about what I'm saying, but there's no real logic to it. It's just an emotional outburst. I mean, I don't take that seriously. It's just it's a glory round. Here's another example.
I'm just gonna fucking charge DLC for underground parking lots.
Speed limit, right? Like, how many fatal crashes? What is the average, speed of a fatal crash? It's probably not 10 miles an hour. So we could theoretically reduce the amount of fatal crashes by like 99% probably if we made the speed limit everywhere that would only go up to 20 miles an hour.
Dog, did you make any sales?
No. Again, we're talking about.
You gotta have to fucking cheapen your goddamn prices, fucking piece of shit.
Okay. Now, is there going to be extreme cases where someone is using a vehicle to try to kill someone? Yes. The heavy majority of car accidents are just that, accidents. The people that are in these accidents and life is lost, no one is getting into the car and saying, my intent is to go out and take another person's life. That's not the intent behind those situations. It's called an accident for a reason.
Whoa.
You're talking about something that is premeditated. We're talking about a premeditated decision to take the life of a child at 9 months.
It would dramatically decrease. Dramatically, extremely decrease. You're being twisted? No, I'm not. This is the reality, and these are decisions. Why don't we? Because it's more convenient for us to be able to drive fast.
That has nothing to do with this.
That's the reason why.
What are you talking about?
We regularly sacrifice people's well-being for our own convenience all the time.
We're not sacrificing well-being. We are giving people the ability to murder. That's what they're doing with these kids. What are you talking about? Asmon, when someone... Oh, my God. Asmon, when someone has an accident... and a life is lost, an investigation happens. If the investigation concludes that the individual that started the accident was actually trying to take someone's life, that person goes to prison, you retard. What the fuck are you talking about? You can't just take vehicles and try to kill people without consequences.
You can't do that, dog. You can't do that.
What planet is this dude living on right now? Holy shit, this is a wild take.
I have my opinion on it, and also my opinion in general hinges on my expectation that the government will not be able to be agile enough to distinguish whether an abortion is valid or not at a late-term abortion. Like, I recognize the reality of that I don't think that it's possible that the government can react to and respond to that quickly enough. And like, they will make mistakes. And I think that reality is worse. And just the nature of that is worse than having a few kids get killed. Because then you're going to have I think you're going to have even more kids get born that should have been killed. That have like some,
Dude. Okay.
What the fuck?
Somebody tell me this is either Asmongold AI that somebody created, or this is happening in June while he's wearing what looks to be a pride shirt. Like, is he trolling? Like, this can't be. This is crazy. This is crazy.
And like, they will make mistakes. And I think that reality is worse. And the nature of that is worse than having a few kids get killed. Because then you're going to have I think you're going to have even more kids get born. That
How many hours have you put into the game?
That have like some, debilitating fucking, illness that makes their life a living hell. And their parents as well. And
Damn,
also parents,
dog.
the mothers could die in the process too. And so like that's just the truth. And I do give like, and I want to say, guys, if you ask me these questions, I will give you an honest answer. I will. And I think that based off of my own reasoning here, you might not like the answer, but I have very consistent answers on these topics. And I think that a lot more people agree with me than they think, but they just are uncomfortable with the way that I state it.
I think that that's a massive cope. I think that's a massive cope where you want more people to side with you because so many people are coming at you on your chat.
to do what you
And
have to
that's a
do,
massive
dog.
cope.
You
That's
don't know what
insane,
else to
dude.
do. You
And
can't do what
that's
you
not even
can't
to
do.
like. There's more. There's this account right here. They follow me.
I need
But
to
Emerald
make
Apple had
the
a back and forth
dollars.
with Asmongold. Okay.
Dog,
Actually,
why
somebody
don't we just
said,
try
now people are
printing money,
saying that
dog?
Asmongold's rainbow shirt might be the cursed, equating the notorious Sonichu medallion, where anyone that wears it ends up with with horrible fate.
Dog, you got
Since wearing the
you got a
Pride
dad
rainbow
who
shirt,
knows
he
how to
has
do
become
that,
embroiled in
dog.
several controversies with his pro-abortion takes, aligning with eugenics and supporting a late-term abortion,
Ask him
along
to
with his take on the
teach you.
character Eve in Stellar Blade. So. And this person had a back and forth with him, okay?
Get all your monsters, dog.
And it went on, and I'm not gonna read the whole thing here,
Buy
but
your
right here.
monsters.
Okay. Here it is. Asmongold, another Asmongold L, as he doubles down on the anti-logic again.
Nice.
As many have said, this data is actually clear from multiple studies where there is no difference. So this is a whole thing about anime and lolly and all of that crap, which I am not an expert on or whatever. So I'm not going to get into the details of this conversation, especially here on YouTube. But what we're going to just talk about here is just this back and forth, okay? So first he responds, says, please provide the data you're referencing, okay? Emerald responds, okay, right here. Asmon responds, okay? They keep going back and forth, and it turns into where Emerald starts to ratio Asmon, okay? That never happens. Asmongold never gets ratioed, ever. And so the fact that Emerald Apple is ratioing him, see, there's his take, 700 likes, 1,700 to the response. And it's just a whole back and forth, another ratio right here, close to a ratio. So yeah, man, I don't know what's going on with him, but he's digging a lot of different holes right now, and doesn't seem to be doing very well for him. So there you have it right there. See, there's another one, 800 to 1,100. Then 723 to 1,100. When Asmon's getting ratioed, that's probably means that he's digging in deep on this topic right here. So right there, he ratioed her, but then she
Nice,
ratioed
dude.
or it, whatever Emerald is. I don't know who the fuck this person is. So he's just got a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I don't know, man. Yeet, put this one out if you want to go check
This
it out.
fucking guy
But
said some stupid shit.
So it's so funny to me how it's only men in these replies.
Whoa, dog, are those
Is this like a
jets?
leftist take where men can't have a take on this? Well, to be fair to this Brittany person, you're actually right, Brittany. You're actually right about that. Men are not allowed to have an opinion on this. Do you know why, Brittany? You know why? You actually brought up an interesting point. Because women have more rights in the United States of America than men do. Because women have the right to go and do this horrible thing to their child, and men have no say-so. Because women have more rights in the United States of America than men do. So thank you for bringing up the point and proving the point that women have more rights than men. Even though you play the victim and you claim that women don't have as many rights as men, that's a straight up lie. And the fact is, we have the fact. The fact is, women have more rights. Then no. No. That's not Brittany's Vintage. No. We love Brittany Vintage. She's great. I would never, ever pick a fight with Brittany Vintage. So, not Brittany Vintage, chat. Not Brittany Vintage. Don't get her mad at me. I don't want her mad at me. Right? That's the latest on Asmodee. That's some wild stuff right there. Wild.
No, the power of the dark side.
Flying Dog Face Bonus says Israel could be eliminating the next 25 new IRGC leaders for Trump. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Slang Hope says Xbox Showcase Rock. He's PlayStation slow pros are just salty.
Whoa.
Cooper 7395 says happy 678. Jeremy.
Whoa.
East Coast Toast Boy says I was on that stream.
Whoa.
Talking about yikes. Dark Red Knight says he's worn that same shirt for like 6 days in a row now. He's also starting to drink on stream. Like I said the other day, I can't support him anymore. Wait, so he's drinking alcohol? I don't watch Asmongold streams. But so it's like, is he drinking alcohol? Is that what you're saying? Let me see. Dr. Pepper. Okay. The Asmon. Sling Hope says Asmon would have deleted Ricky Berwick. There you have it right there. That's the truth. I mean, listen, if you want to know my official stance on, abortion, my official stance is that I am against it, but the only exceptions I
Hey, Calcast is a better drifter than you, dog.
Life of the mother is within question. I do kind of accept that within reason. That's the only situation, though. That's it. Other than that, I no wiggle room at all. There's no wiggle room beyond life of the mother. If there's a serious situation that's unforeseen, I believe that's a choice that a person should have. I do believe you as a human being, if you are told that your life is in danger and you're told by doctors, I do believe that you have a
dirty little whore. Dirty little whore. Whoa. Oh. Whoa. She. Oh. Dirty hole, the dirty hole.
Right as a human being to make that decision. But outside of that, no. I don't believe any exceptions should be brought into play. But that's it. Let's see. What about grape and incest? I mean, listen. If I have an accident in a car and I lose my leg, I don't have the choice to get my leg back. Like, bad things happen and we have to deal with the consequences of the bad things happening. And while that's a terrible situation, first of all, the person that does the crime should be thrown away for the rest of eternity. But I don't think a healthy kid should be killed because a horrible act happened. I just don't. So, it doesn't make it a great situation. It's a horrible situation, and you never want to see that. And I obviously think that the person that's involved in that should be, honestly, I'm on YouTube, I gotta be careful. Let me dance around what I'm gonna say. Anybody that essays a woman, I don't even know a careful way to say what I think should happen to this person. So,
I don't know what you're talking about,
I want
dog.
bad things to happen to this person. That's all I can really say. I can't get into too many details, but I have some ideas of what I think should happen
Brock
to this
Bondi,
person.
dog.
Think about this the best way possible. Now, again,
Maggot
I'm not saying
still
this is
isn't
what's going
playing
on.
the GOAT
I'm just giving
game.
you Jeremy's view on the world, okay? I believe that if you essay a woman, I believe that
This
you
guy
are
wants to be a fucking
I
retard.
believe that the father slash
This guy's a
husband
fucking piece
of
of
that
shit.
woman, the brother, any extended family, men that are connected, I believe that they should have the legal right to punish that person and
This
not
guy
be held
wants to
accountable.
be a fucking faggot.
That's what I believe. I think that's a justified response. And there's no lie. You can do whatever you need to do to this piece of shit to get your anger out. That's just my reading. That's what I think. But I'm being very careful. Very careful right now. The point being is you make a society where you make somebody fear doing it. That's the society you create. You create circumstances where someone says it's not worth it. Because if you get caught, it's going to be over. I like a society that implements that rule. That is a if someone does that to a woman, that ruins that woman's life. Like you're gonna traumatize her. She's never gonna be able to have a meaningful relationship again. Or if she does, it's gonna be difficult. That also makes it difficult on the significant other. It hurts the family. It hurts the child. It hurts everybody involved for the rest of their life. Because of the significance of that, I believe the punishment should fit the crime. So, there you go. Narco says Asman is hypering himself with this take. You all know why I feel that way. I do. I absolutely do. Stone Will says ring it up and Asman L with the bells. Eastern Source Voice says there's also a clip that Asman admitted to contributing to his mom's death by not letting docs in the house to help her because she didn't get the jab. There's a video I can send you now if you want. I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole. I mean, you can send me the video, but I'm not going to react to something like that without pre-screening it because that's an insane accusation that I would never throw against anyone. So I would never want to do that because Asman is so popular and so well known that he's got extreme haters. And so with him being as prominent and as well known as he is, there's people that hate him so bad that they could build a strong case. So I would never want to react to that. You can send it to me and I'll check it out. Dark Red Knight says in the last 2 weeks, Asman has said men are hotter than women. He's worn the same shirt 6 days in a row. He started drinking on stream. He said severely disabled people should be warned. He's spiraling. It really is, dude. He has had a wild month right now. I think he's had a wild month. What is going on with Asman? Holy crap. Nandy for 50 says only women can unalive babies. False Me Too accuse men, and meanwhile men lose jobs, relationships as a result of women's actions. But women have lost rights under Trump. There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's really crazy, man. We live in a weird let's see. All good. I assume you'd pre-screen everything on it. Yep, no good, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Nandy. Good to see you, brother. This stream may get age restricted with the topics that I'm talking about right now. So make sure you're following on Rumble and Kick because I may have to. I don't know what's going to happen. I may have to edit out some of these portions. And Danky, when you edit this for D-Day Cobra 2, you're probably going to have to do quite a bit of editing, just to be clear. Justin Albino says around 95% of abortions are done because of convenience circumstance. If it were about exceptions, leftists would be okay with banning 95%, but they aren't because it's not about that. 100%. 100%. Jimmy Ray says, not even for the life of the mother. You still try to save the child, even if it means pulling it from the womb. There's no justification for scrambling a baby's brain. And listen, I understand your perspective on that too. But I just feel like that's my exception. But I understand where you're coming from, and I know people are passionate about it from that perspective. But I just believe on a human level that if you're told that your life is in danger for this procedure, you know, I think you have the right to make that choice. But I respect your choice. I 100% understand. Brad Nad says, my mom was given the recommendation to abort me. Well, I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm glad you're here. And like I said, the Tim Tebow story is a classic example. And again, I want to find that just so people have the context to that. Let's see. Yeah, right here. Right here.
I call it Miracle Baby. We almost didn't get into this world. I can remember so many times when I almost lost him. It was so hard. Well, he's all grown up now, and I still worry about myself. You know, with all our family's been through, we have to be tough. Timmy, I'm trying to tell our story here.
Sorry about that, man.
That was
You still worry about me, Mom?
that was like a pro-life commercial for the Super Bowl all those years ago. And but it's a pretty, like, you can look up the details of it for, you know, the things that she had to go through and things like that. But yeah, man, there's actually a video of it where they tell the full story. You can just search out Tim Tebow Mom commercial. It's about a 10-minute video. It's right here.
What happened? What would you like people to hear about your story?
Well, I like to call it a God story because I think the God story is almost impossible apart from God, and I think Timmy's story is definitely one of those, and Bob, you should stop.
Well,
And his dad just recently passed away, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, Tebow's a great guy, and his mom was told, you know, she made a choice, and clearly she made the right choice. Matt says, was Asmongold dropped when he was a baby? Speed Racer says, Asmongold said, men look better than him. He did say that. Gandalf Freddy Balrog says, Asmon likely has one or two of fetus in his edit for YouTube. He's had to pay for it in the past, so he's trying to justify it in his own mind. Sean Austin says, my son's mom was going to get rid of him. Texas law saved his life. Now he's a very lovely 4-year-old. She was having a mood swing. Dark Red Knight says, he's been drinking bottles on stream. Maybe it's Dr. Pepper. Okay. East Coast Toast Boys is all good. And moderate to 7.8 magnitude earthquake off. Yeah, we covered it. We covered that one. Off Philippines, Japan, and Indonesia. I think we got Freedom Court with another 52 kicks on Kick. Thank you. Appreciate that. U.S. airbase in Saudi Arabia allegedly hit by Iran. Really? Good Lord, man. It's nonstop tonight. It's nonstop. Let me see. Right now, I've got nothing but Philippines in my algorithm now because I clicked on one freaking story. And here we go. Let's see here. What is this? Okay, here we got this. So tonight's retaliatory strikes by Israeli Air Force reportedly targeted Iranian missile launch sites and other military bases operated by the IRGC, with possible strikes also targeting aircraft in the international airport in Tehran. Marmillan for 10 says, I was a high-risk pregnancy, a lot of issues. The question that never came up to end it was supposed to have downs. Came out healthy, just normal amount of tarded. I mean, I don't know. You're not a normal amount of retarded, Marmillan. You send way too much money to be a normal. You're extremely retarded, like in the best way, but you send way too much money to be normal. All right, all due respect. You're not as retarded as John freaking Murdoch or somebody like that, but you're pretty close. So, hey, Omar Millen, I'm glad everything worked out for you, brother. I really am. We got the best chat, man. And yeah, it's not an easy conversation. It's not an easy discussion. But the thing, there's laughing, man, says I'm never super chat here. I only ignore saying you because I know you'll pop up and say something. And by the way, Laughing Man was so nice. Messaged me the other day. He was trying to save me some money on something. He's such a nice guy. He's the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, shizer, dog.
But in all seriousness, this is obviously a tough topic, but it's just like, as a streamer, when you're sitting here taking a ending the life of a child based on health and, Down syndrome or whatever else, you literally are talking to people. If you're a streamer, you're talking to people that face those same ideas, and you're essentially telling the people in your chat that they shouldn't even be here. That is an incredibly terrible thing to say to people. Why would you say that? I don't understand it. You're literally telling people in your chat, hey, yeah, you shouldn't be here. It's crazy. Plain God, exactly laughing, man. Man. People have no perspective on anything. They have no context on anything. They don't think about how that really lands, and it's sad. I love this chat so much. I love this chat. I was also being strangled by umbilical cord. Probably why I'm such a dumbass. Freaking love this chat. Like, probably why I'm such a dumbass. Self-awareness is a very powerful tool on the internet, okay? And as long as you can laugh at yourself, you'll be completely okay. That's the bottom line, okay? Jeremy, are you seeing anything with California election? Is Pratt going to lose now, you think? Unfortunately, he has officially lost. Sadly, that's where we are. Spencer Pratt has officially lost because they cheated him out of it. Yeah. It's over. They cheated right in front of our very eyes. And, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here we go right here. And there it is. After 5 days of statistically impossible ballot drops, Rahman has pulled ahead of Spencer Pratt. The DOJ needs to keep investigating. This can't be allowed to keep happening in America. California's third world election system needs to be banned. So that is where it's at. He is now officially in third place. It's insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. So that's the latest. It's over. It's over. Narco says, I agree with that. The only time except in grape or abortion is acceptable, and that is another topic. Baby is innocent. Is when the mother's life is legitimately danger. I stress legitimately. Exactly. Legitimately. 100%. And putting the word legitimately on there is important. Aaron Adams says, I think Trump needs to just walk away and let them fight, even if he got a deal when him and JD is gone. Iran will go back to the same old things. I'm sure he's thinking about that, but he's kind of too far in to walk away now. Jeeping Baylor says, I am honestly against abortion in all cases unless it stops another beardo from entering this world. Lapco says there's some genuinely horrific defects. I can't even pronounce that. But with modern scans, there's no reason to wait until the 9th month to act. Agreed. Okay. Let me see if there's any updates. right now we have Saudi Arabia's has issued a advisory warning citizens to take shelter and follow official instructions. So they are anticipating that they could get retaliatory strikes tonight. What a disaster the Middle East is, man. Israel's reportedly preparing for additional waves of Iranian strikes following their strike against targets inside Iran, and what seems to be a resumption of reciprocal strikes between the two regional rivals. Again, this is why nobody else wanted to deal with this problem. And so, obviously, I commend President Trump for wanting to get involved with this shit and handle it. But on the other hand, this is why no one else wanted to deal with it too. So it's gonna. This is gonna take. This is gonna take so much to unfuck this. The Middle East is such a disaster. It's embarrassing. 90% of the problems in the Middle East is Iran, says Dan Campbell. Iran always shoots back. What a mess. Deathu says, don't care. Deathu, do you mean you don't care what? You don't care about Cobra Cast? Or you don't care about what's going on in the Middle East? I understand. Like, both probably apply, but which is it? Do you not care about Cobra Cast, or do you not care about what's going on in the Middle East? Just need some clarification, brother. Okay? That's all. Let's see. Sling Hooks has been watching Asman for a while, and one thing he says every day is the people criticizing what I said actually agree with me. His ego is out of control. He's become super successful, so it's okay. I don't care about Jeremy either. Says Gun Rival. Aaron Adams says, I'm saying if he don't want to fight it anymore. Oh, I know exactly what you meant. I knew what you meant. Nate says, I don't care about Beardo. What Beardo? Joe Zilla says, love Cobra Cast, don't care about the Durka Durka. Turn them into glass. John the Winston says, what Asman said bothered me. Have you seen Mercury Rising? Bruce and Baldwin confront each other about the autistic kid. Alec called him one of nature's mistakes who cannot survive on his own. Madness. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how Asman navigates this, because I do think in a lot of ways he's so popular and his audience is so loyal that he has become so used to just, being able to move past it, because he's never, it's not like he hasn't had takes that his audience has disagreed with him on big time. This is a really bad one, though. This is a next level bad one. Yeah, exactly, Rabnad. Elon Musk has Asperger's. Need I say more? By Asman Gold's logic, Elon Musk should not be here because he is a burden on society. And he's a burden on his family. Yep. That's what Asman, that was his logic right there. If he shows any defects or any issues, get him gone. He'll be a burden on society. I present to you Elon Musk. Valkyria Winter says, I only care about Buddha time. All hail, or hail all and skull. Let's go. Let's go, Valkyria. It's been a long time. Can someone tell me what he said? I mean, you could go back probably 20 or 30 minutes. I reacted to it. The whole clip of me reacting to what Asma said will be on D-Day Cobra 2 after Danky edits it. Not sure when he's going to do that, but we'll see. Brie Larson, Super Mario Galaxy made $1 billion. Is that your way of making me mad? To say Brie Larson, Super Mario Galaxy made $1 billion. Congratulations, Brie. I'm a huge fan of Brie Larson. I'm a huge fan. Okay, that's fair. You said Disgrace Randolph. I've never heard her called Disgrace Randolph. That's pretty good. Was wrong. Brie Larson, Super Mario Galaxy made $1 billion. You're actually right. She didn't hurt the movie at all. she didn't hurt the movie at all. I thought she was great. I thought she was great in the role. So I'm very happy Mario Galaxy made $1 billion. The Michael movie is going to make $1 billion as well. So that's $2 billion movies, and both of the movies I have very much loved. And that's awesome. Now we'll see what happens with the Odyssey. I have no idea what to expect. I have no idea. I think the Odyssey is going to. I think it's still going to be a very good movie with some very distracting issues.
What do you wish
with the
for,
casting.
dog?
That's my prediction for it. And right now I'm sitting at about. I'm sitting at about a $750 to $800.
You wish for freaky Nicky,
That's what I'm sitting
dog.
at right now. I don't think it's going to hit $1 billion. I think about 750 or 800 million box office. That's what I think. We'll see though. We'll see. It's going to be a shit show. It's gonna be an
What if she
absolute shit show.
killed your entire family,
Narcos is 300
dog?
max, bro. Tenet made $370 million in the middle of COVID. Come on, man. Come on. What are we talking about? You guys are crazy if you think there is like no chance that the Odyssey makes less than 500 million.
Dog, did you
There's no
take
world.
your creatine today, dog?
There's no world where the Odyssey doesn't make
Nice.
It could be the
Fucking
worst
faggot.
movie ever, and it's still gonna make $500 million. Still, it could be a complete shit show. Let me see here. Johnny Whittaker got that one. Aaron Adams says, if Gold gets sick, he's going to check himself out. Maybe by his own logic. He-Man flop. Yeah, I mean it did. I mean it's a massive flop. I don't think anyone expected He-Man to be like $1 billion movie. It seems like a lot of people are really liking He-Man. I was, like I said, I'm just kind of middle of the road. So, what up, Willie Will? I see you. How much money did Odyssey make from pre-sales? I don't know if we know that. I
They don't
know
got
if there's any way
F1
to
cars
tell.
in this
I mean,
game.
I saw some reports. I don't know how I don't know if there's how
Damn.
well you can take that. Like right here, the Odyssey sells 150,000 tickets in its initial pre-sales opening weekend
Dog,
domestic.
I'm
In comparison,
evolving.
Oppenheimer sold 65,000. So if you want to believe these numbers, then the Odyssey sold nearly 3
I'm
times as many
becoming
tickets for
a
opening weekend as
potato,
Oppenheimer.
dog.
Oppenheimer went on to make nearly $1 billion. I don't know if I believe that number, but you know, that's from this box office guy right here. So there's that, but I don't know if that's true. I have no idea.
Dog, I want to bleed blue blood, dog.
Maverick77 Defender says Thomas Jackson interview Michael Jackson, Shady Oprah, Justin Timberlake, and more. That's right. That is right.
How much fucking monster
Let
do
me
I have
see.
to drink to bleed blue blood, dog?
Isn't that closer to 2 times than 3 times? I mean, if you're estimating. I mean,
It's a squid,
if it
dog.
did 65, you know, what is, you know, what are you talking about? 180?
An
So,
octopus.
Get Metatron on
Smurf.
FNC Odyssey drops. He's been a fire over that lately. That'd be a great rant. Oh yeah, he's been ranting every day about it because he's caught up on the armor. Nobody gives a fuck about the armor. Nobody gives a fuck. The casting is the problem with the movie. That's what people care about. The disastrous casting and the dialogue. That's the shit that can hurt the movie. Nobody gives a fuck about the fucking the armor. Nobody gives a fuck. Yeah, Shad does. Like I said, nobody cares. The same people that care about the armor were the people that were bitching about the historical inaccuracies
wrong
about
with you, dog?
Troy. And Troy was fucking awesome. And the history pros were crying about Troy. Oh my God, Brad Pitt can't be Achilles. That's what they were saying. I'm old enough to remember. I know history has completely looked at Troy differently, but I'm telling you, when Troy came out, history pros were crying about it, and they hated Brad Pitt being Achilles. Because Brad Pitt was not viewed as Brad Pitt today. Brad Pitt was viewed as a pretty boy and all of that. Nobody wanted Brad Pitt in that fucking movie. They all hated it. And they all bitched because there was no realistic gods in the movie, and they ignored the gods for the most part, and they cried because Orlando Bloom was in it, because they thought it was made for women. They bitched about the historical inaccuracies, and Troy was a fucking awesome movie. And now all the history bros cry and say it's great now. It's like, you motherfuckers were crying about it. You were all whining about Troy back then. I wasn't. Troy was awesome. Fucking great movie. Narco says Shad lives matter. Do they? Do they? Let's see here. Eric Bana was great. He was. I mean, Troy's just a great movie. Like, that fight scene between Hector and Achilles is one of the greatest fight scenes that I've ever seen in a movie, because it doesn't have any extra fluff to it. It's a legitimate fight scene between two warriors. It's amazing. Willie Will says it was so-so. All right, we hit 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen. So a 3-hour Cobra cast in. Don't have to grift it because the people are just so damn nice. The Snake Pit always steps up. Always. Hail to you, Bill. Hail to you. Yeah, man, that spammer's having fun, isn't he? If you keep spamming, you know what we're going to start doing. The last time we had people spam, we just battled with super chats, okay? So, thank you, Bill. All right, so there's a couple of ways to approach this. Lauren Boebert goes ballistic after Fox reporter asked her about affair allegations between her and Thomas Massey, okay? Let's listen to what Boebert had to say right here.
Thank you, first of all. If you're going to bring me into this, like, this sexist stuff is, like, out of control. So there's your clickbait that you were looking for. And,
a lot of people...
I don't want to talk about anybody's exes and their crazy that they do. Fuck you.
Okay. So there's a couple of ways to approach this. First of all,
shut your fucking mouth, piece of shit.
Thomas
Shut
Massey.
your fucking mouth.
Well done, my friend. Well done. Not a fan of Thomas Massey, but credit where credit is due. Okay? We appreciate
I'll tell you to shut your fucking mouth.
I gotta give you credit where credit's due. Makara is handling business right now, so thank you, Makara. Let's see, what is this right now? Oh no! So am I? Thank you just sent me this. Hang on, we gotta talk about this real quick. Hang
You're
on.
gonna fucking kill
So
somebody
Danky just
on this
sent me
road,
this because
dog.
of the
You gotta
topic
slow
of-
down.
Where's it at?
Dog, the Japanese people don't need
It looks
this,
like
dog.
I got a warning. Is this from earlier? Maybe that
Fucking
was
maniac.
Sure. Spammers be gone. We'll get that. I'll go back to that. Willie Will, what the hell, brother? A proper 199 for Willie Will. Woo. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Let's freaking go. Willie Will with a proper 199. We will honor the proper 199 here soon. Go back to this. Okay, folks. I gotta give you credit where credit's due. You know, I'm not a fan of Thomas Massey, but hang on. Let me make sure we get my mic in here. Getting spammed bad. All right, there we go. Just telling the mods that we're getting spammed. I know Makara is handling business. Eric is here. Okay. But back to this. Joke aside, the fact that she called him a sexist, they always play into the leftist playbook. Always.
God, I fucking knew that,
Every
dog.
single time. This is
Who
what
the
they
fuck
do.
do you think you are?
So to me, her reaction tells me she's got a lot to hide. She's got a lot to hide. But Thomas Massey Perhaps we treated you too harshly, okay? So I wanted to show that really quick. And yeah, Willie Will is battling the spammers. And since the spammers showed up,
fucking do with that.
and Willie Will dropped this, and Bill dropped a 200, there's only one way to celebrate, and I think all of you know how we're going to celebrate, don't you? That's right. Time to celebrate. Congrats, Massey. Yeah, absolutely. They're undercover leftists. They really are, man. They really are. But there you have it. Celebration in order. Willie Will, hail to you. And I think we have to show the red dress, right? Don't we have to show the red dress? The red dress is better than this picture. That is better than, that's the best Sydney Sweeney one right there. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Fucking fag, you can't even speak without coughing. Dude.
Yeah.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Like, is there any point in me talking or even
Fucking
being
piece
here?
of shit.
Should we just make, like, should I just leave? Is that better when I'm just not here and you just get to watch Sydney Sweeney? That makes Cobra Cast a lot better, doesn't it? I agree. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. So, anyway, is that Raging Rhino in the house? What up, Raging Rhino? My buddy, your buddy, everybody's buddy. Fun with Collectibles says $498 to go. Let's go, team chat. Lol 199. Too much talking, Jeremy. Ackle P2, Ackle P199. You changed it. 30 years ago on this day, a cinematic masterpiece was released. Here's a hint. Carla was the prom queen. All hail Cobra Cast. The Rock. Rector in the history of Hail Cobra Cast 199. Mod Lives Matter, Chat Lives Matter. Listen, we've got a lot going on surrounding President Trump heading to Game 3 tonight in New York. Boy, oh boy, people are freaking out. Big time, okay? And one person that's freaking out about this is the power of Trump. This is the power of Trump. He breaks everybody's brains, no matter what. And now here we have Stephen A. Smith crying about President Trump. Listen to what Stephen A. Smith says about Trump showing up to the Knicks game tonight.
If it causes the New York Knicks to lose tonight, I'm blaming him. I'm blaming the President of the United States. I'ma stay on that. I'ma stay on that. And damn it, I hope the GOP lose votes because of it if we lose tonight. I'm gonna be against them. All of them. All of them. I'm telling you that right now. We better not lose tonight's game. We better not lose tonight's game. You understand what I'm saying? I've been fair-minded, down the middle, as an independent for a long time. Hell hath no fury like Stephen A. scorned if the New York Knicks lose tonight. I'm going to be in their ass like bagpipes, like white on rice. I'm telling you that right now. We better not lose tonight's game. We were riding. We were flowing. And this man go sit up there and show up to the Golden tonight.
Fucking piece of fucking shite.
We got to show up 4 or 5 hours before the damn game. No. I'm not about to watch party. Take the subway, right? No, in this suit. That's not good. I'm might be on the subway. I'm a man of the people. By the way, Bill Clinton would see Michael Jordan multiple times in person. Right. I'm saying. Hold on. First of all, that's Washington is right down the road, number 2.
I like how they called him out on that. Now, also right here, he says, the president has no business showing up in New York City. I'm dead serious. It's selfish. Here we go.
Strictly a basketball segment. This president has no business showing up in New York City. I am dead serious. It is selfish. It is narcissistic. It is ridiculous that he is coming to this game. I would say the same thing if it were Obama, George W., Clinton. I don't give a damn. We went back to Reagan.
You already know that's bullshit. There ain't no chance in hell that this dude would have said anything about another president doing this, because other presidents have done this consistently. There's not a chance in hell that he would have said this, and he didn't say this stuff.
Oh, this fucking retard doesn't know what he's doing, dude.
He is lying his ass off.
This is not a football stadium in some space in Texas where you got a whole bunch of outlays and all of this. This is the Garden. This is Midtown Manhattan. You have any idea what the congestion is going to be like in New York City here? I get off my radio strictly.
So wait a minute. Did they have did they have any concerns about congestion when they had President Trump show up to his court hearings in New York City? Did they have a problem with all of the attention that that would bring? Did you have a problem with that because they forced Trump to show up in New York City for bullshit charges that they were throwing his way? I don't think you had a problem with that, did you? Did you cry about congestion then, Stephen A. Smith? Also, to say that Donald Trump doesn't have any business being in New York City? You remember this clip right here when Democrats loved Donald Trump in New York?
What's your fucking problem, dog?
Trump, who is a big Knicks fan and who joins us now. Donald, I know you're a Knicks fan, so are you disappointed that Kobe's not here, or are you glad he's not here because it ups your chances?
Well, I guess you could look at it both ways, but I'd like to see Kobe play. I came here to see my man Kobe. Kobe is great. And I'm sitting here and I'm saying, what happened to Kobe? But I guess you...
Man of the people, showing proper respect to the Mamba. He could have thrown shade because he's a Knicks fan, but he still respects greatness.
A little problem.
Yeah, you got to talk to your friends at the NBA.
You glad your teammates can come off the bench this time? I'm just glad we got the week. Thanks a lot. Let's go back to Nick and Jimmy.
All right, Craig, and a lot of defense, too, because the Pacers were helped.
Oh, look at there! Patrick Ewing, one of the greatest New York Knicks players of all time, showing some love to the Don.
41 seconds after they had led 93-88, the Knicks scored.
Donald Trump, look at that!
You're paying a lot of money.
This fucking retard just crashed into the guard.
Thank you. Great game. Have a good time.
This is Shaquille O'Neal's shoe.
Oh my God.
Right here, which is a serious
Is
shoe.
that a real shoe?
That's a real shoe. He took it off after a game and handed it.
Oh my God.
I carried it like this.
Yeah.
This guy's a fucking...
You don't
this
really
was-
like germs anyway, do you?
No. Yeah, from
How are
Shaq.
you? How are
So,
Dude, I don't want to wear
there's
fucking
the Don
headphones when I'm
right
laying
there.
down.
But apparently Trump has no business being in New York City.
Through the controller, by the way.
Right now,
Fucking
this
piece
is
of shit.
absolutely ridiculous. Yes, the lifelong New Yorker Donald J. Trump,
Now go
who
fuck
lived his
yourself.
entire life in New York, has no business coming to his home state to watch his home team play. It makes no sense. These people continue to make a fool of themselves.
Dog, do you know
every
you're gonna be
single
transformed
time.
into a
TBS,
controller? You're not gonna have a body anymore. You're just gonna be a
Scully Revenge says,
PlayStation
does
controller
Donald
that I
know
own.
how much Trump has done for New York? No. Donald Trump has literally helped rebuild New York
Nice.
in the 80s and the 90s. Donald Trump was the king of New York. The fact that Stephen A. is going to sit there and say this crap,
Yeah, you're not gonna have a body. You're just gonna be a voice and a controller, dude.
it's unreal. But it's not just Stephen A., okay? It's not just
Yeah,
Stephen
dude.
A. But before
No more,
we show you
no
the
more
rest of
pain.
the craziness,
More back pain.
the Don did show up. And he is a man of the people. Are you guys ready to see? The Don showed up to spend time
dog,
with all of the regular
Dog, it's
peeps
frozen.
in New York City. Here is the Don in New York City before Game 3. Look at our president. Look at him.
You watch Air Force One, dog? Yeah, it was pretty funny when the jet pilot or the fire. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy. love to see it. Only Trump. Now, here we have Timu Obama. Hakeem Jeffrey says, it's not clear to me that Donald Trump is a big Knicks fan. My goodness. My goodness. Again, it's not clear to Hakeem Jeffries if Trump is a big Knicks fan. One more time.
It says New York, like Donald Trump, who is a big Knicks fan and who joins us now. Donald, I know you're a Knicks fan, so are you disappointed that Kobe's not here, or are you glad he's not here because it ups your
This guy
chances?
watches Obsession, but he doesn't watch fucking Event Horizon.
But he's not a Knicks fan,
This guy
guys.
paid to fucking watch Obsession, but he doesn't want to pay to watch fucking Event Horizon. You fucking piece of shit.
Things to say about Donald Trump going to the next game, and you know, at this point,
Watch the greatest fucking movie in
just
history.
want to enjoy Game 3, the first home game that we've had in 2017.
Dude, this guy's entire existence is based off of trying to be like Barack Hussein Obama. His mannerisms, the way he talks, it's unbelievable how cringy he is.
7 years. But it also is not clear to me that Donald Trump is a big Knicks fan. I mean, does this guy even know the difference between Karl Rove and Karl Anthony Towns? I don't think so. He's just injecting himself into the NBA Finals because he always has to bring the MAGA circus into town. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, here we are. This is the left right here. They are completely controlled by Donald Trump. Donald Trump has so much power over them. Now, right here, let me see if I can find this. So this NBA insider claims Secret Service confronted him at an intersection. They thought he was a terrorist.
And myself, Malika, personally, I was actually stopped by Secret Service just right over there because my AirPod fell. And Secret Service came up to me and said, hey, Secret Service, you're going to have to get out of the intersection. So I had to get out. After this, I'm going to go look for my AirPod case.
So we still haven't found the AirPod case shops?
We're still on the hunt.
Are you fucking mentally handicapped, dude? Get out of this fucking point of view.
It's the biggest game in 27 years shops. We wish you luck going and finding that AirPod. You kind of look like you're dressed a little like Secret Service, so maybe they'll let...
Oh, man. Did they yell this is MAGA country, too? Always the victim.
Nice.
Always
Nice. Fucking retard, dude.
Unhinged behavior right now, man. What is going on?
I was driving on the wrong side of the fucking road,
Cannot
dude.
think straight because of the Don. The Don is like, again, this is the face of the liberal woman when they have TDS.
Man, shut your
They all
fucking
have the
mouth.
same face right there. That's all of the liberal women right now. They're just hissing at Donald Trump. They're so angry. They're so mad. How dare Donald Trump?
Yeah, it's easier, right? You keep fucking crashing into everything. Fucking retard, you fucking piece of shit.
You're not gonna believe what this twist is. You're not gonna believe this. Shocking twist. Whoopi Goldberg defends President Trump. What?
Nice.
Whoopi Goldberg defends President Trump? Huh?
I'm sorry.
Trump and Mayor Mamdani are Knicks fans and have been. They're New Yorkers. And you can't, there's nothing either one of them can do to change what's happening in the city for this team. They can't, you know, they're there. Okay, there's a lot of, you know what? I don't think anything can jinx anything. I think these guys are on a mission. They are on a mission. They're like the Blues Brothers. They're on a mission from God. and they have been winning and doing everything. And you know, you could be buck naked up in the box and ain't nobody paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh,
Please
dear
do
God,
not
I
be.
hope that doesn't
Please
happen.
do not. Okay, but I will say, if I were advising him, I would be like, do not go, because if they lose tonight, everyone's going to blame Trump.
The jinx.
You just cannot put that out.
Now, the theory behind this could be that she's basically using Trump to defend Mamdani, who has no leg to stand on for being a Knicks fan. So that's my theory behind why would she even be defending Trump. And it's because she's trying to defend Mamdani. So she's using Trump in order to defend Mamdani. That would be my theory behind it. It's still very shocking that she would even defend him, but that would be my theory as to why she's going in that direction. I don't know, but crazy times indeed. Crazy times indeed. Okay, now, so we're going to be paying attention to that. That's tonight, and so we're going to be paying attention to all of that. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Let's see. BC Man says, old Joe Griggs, Jeremy Biden sarcasm. Tired Retro Gamer says, Backrooms was excellent. Looking forward to Obsession. Off topic. But did you feel the quake? I heard reports that there was, but I didn't feel anything here in Orlando. So, JRL says, hello, Jeremy.
Dog, it
Always
ain't about
appreciate
the
streams.
settings,
Did
dog. You
you,
just fucking
did G&G
suck.
enjoy the video game tournament? Have a blessed day. Hail the chat, the 199. We are still going over that, but I really appreciate you putting that together, brother. So we've been kind of theorizing about like what games we could add and things like that. So more to come on that. Let's see. Red Mage for 20 says, funny how Timu Obama is saying that Trump is inserting himself into the NBA finals when he's doing the exactly that. Sit the F down, Jeffries. Agreed. Sit down, Jeffries. Nobody cares about your BS. Godzilla's Greaser says, you say Timo Obama as if Obama is equality. You just mad says Timo Obama learned his acting from Tyler Perry. All right. So next up, obviously, we had this crazy situation last night happening with Israel and Iran. President Trump at 5:36 a.m. Trump was up at 5:36 a.m. And he says, Israel and Iran must immediately stop shooting. 5:36, this dude is up. All right. So this is Trump tells Israel and Iran to stop shooting. Both sides say attacks halted after weekend flare-up.
The furious sounds of war there, and a new message from Iran. Of course, following this weekend strikes, Iran says they've stopped all military operations against Israel. Now to that warning. They say that Iranian leadership will continue with aggression if aggression from Israel continues. In fact, they promise much stronger and more crushing actions will follow. Those are the words of the Iranian leadership at this hour. Now, this latest exchange of words and fire comes after Israel struck the outskirts of Beirut on Sunday. And take a look at this. These are remnants of missiles fired towards Israel. Those are Israeli settlers, by the way, who are sitting next to the weapons were sent to kill them. CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie Daggett is in Tel Aviv, where peace once again seems fragile.
According to Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, they say they've concluded their latest military operation.
Well, again, the key is did you hear what he said? According to, did you hear what he said? According to.
Iran's Revolutionary
once again seems fragile.
According to Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps, they
That's all you need to know, that everything he's saying is bullshit.
say they've concluded their latest military operations, meaning the barrage of roughly 24 missiles fired toward Israel. The vast concentration of those were aimed toward the north, where we had air raid sirens and warnings here to head to the shelter this morning, and that hasn't happened since April. And the schools have been closed in anticipation of Iran going on the attack again. So we haven't heard anything really since this morning, as around 6 a.m., maybe one or two after that. So in a statement on Iranian state TV, they said they're ceasing attacks for now, but they warned that if these attacks continue, Israeli attacks in southern Lebanon, harsher attacks would follow. So it's certainly a positive step forward. But once again, we're in a wait-and-see situation here. So there's been a ceasefire between the United States and Iran, yet Iran has fired around 8 or 9 ballistic missiles toward U.S. bases since then. Who knows how many drones? And the U.S. military has launched multiple strikes at Iranian targets.
Are there birds in the vicinity? I do hear the birds in the background. Is what it sounds like is birds anyway. I do hear that.
Sides accuse each other of ceasefire violations without saying that they've broken their ceasefire themselves. So that is where we stand as these talks go ahead between the United States and Iran, Israel and Lebanon and Hezbollah. And for now,
glad I'm not going crazy. You said, well, you probably still are going crazy because let's be honest, you are spending an afternoon watching Cobra Cast. So clearly you have some type of issues. And I totally understand that, by the way. So you probably are going crazy. You have some issues because you're watching this show, but you weren't going crazy in respect to the bird sound.
Anyway, things have gone quiet after we've seen this sharp escalation in violence overnight. Back to you.
All right, Charlie, and also we're watching Truth Social where President Trump says this: Israel and Iran must immediately stop shooting. So let's go live to Washington and CBS News Chief White House correspondent Nancy Cordes. Nancy, good to see you on a Monday. So the president's words signal that he's feeling this latest escalation could unravel the U.S. peace talks with Iran?
Yeah, no question, Reed. I mean, think about how hard it has been, even in the absence of any missiles being fired, to try to find some kind of common ground with Iran. We're not even talking about some big overarching deal on Iran's nuclear program. This is a much smaller deal just to...
So again, I will make the comment that very few people that are covering this will make, is that I have no idea what the fuck is going on. I really don't. I have no idea. But if I'm applying common sense to this, the more that we have followed this story, the more that it's clear to me, anyway, that this situation is so complicated that this is why no other president has dared to get involved in this. And so you look at situations in the past where it doesn't matter what it is, it's all relative to the position or the leadership or whatever. So typically what happens in any situation with a leader that's not overly passionate is they think that if we just throw money at the problem, it'll go away. Okay? If we just throw more money at it, it'll eventually go away. That's how a lot of these CEOs handle problems. Or like, we'll just put more money into it and it'll deal with it. It's just like, a lot of these rich people that get caught up in lawsuits, their answer is just, give them the money and shut them up. With this is how historically people like, Obama and Biden, what did they do? They were like, we don't want to deal with this. Just give them more money. Just give them more billions of dollars. That's essentially how they wanted to handle it because they didn't want to deal with it. Trump, on the other hand, is dealing with it, but whether he expected it to be this complicated or not, I can't speak for. But it's clear that this situation is extremely complicated. And I have no idea how long this is going to take. But I will continue to say that I trust Trump to get this done. But it seems to be really, really... it just seems to be like children fighting and they're not listening.
End hostilities, get the Strait of Hormuz reopened, and agree to talk further about Iran's nuclear program. That has been a difficult needle to thread. And then if you've got Iran and Israel firing at each other, it becomes all the more difficult. And that's why you saw President Trump in an extraordinary move yesterday. Once Iran had begun firing on Israel, he actually said publicly on Truth Social, and he said to reporters as well, I'm telling the Israelis not to respond. I don't want them to retaliate because this can spiral out of control. Well, the Israelis responded anyway, and then he urged both sides to wrap them down in tension, and now he's saying today that he thinks that both sides actually do want a ceasefire. If they want a ceasefire, and if they want a final deal, it has still proven elusive, Reed, in the last 24 hours, probably.
All right, much to watch. Nancy Cordes, thank you.
So that's the latest that we have, at least the latest I've heard. I mean, there may be some new developments. It's hard to figure out what's actually legit and what's not, but it's just a disaster. It's just a complete and total disaster. Now, we do have this right here from Fox, which says, this is an hour ago. This is 20 minutes ago right here. Here we go.
Security advisor to President Trump, Victoria Coates, is coming up. I will particularly ask her, this is war. Again, how do we negotiate with that? But first, to Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst on the ground in Tel Aviv, Israel. Trey.
Harris, good morning. A heavy exchange of fire overnight as the Iranians launched more than 24 ballistic missiles at Israel. The Israelis responding with a series of airstrikes across Iran. But today, Iran's IRGC says they have halted attacks against the Jewish state. Take a listen.
As we had promised, we acted accordingly. The powerful armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran, including the Islamic Revolutionary Guard troops in the army of the Islamic Republic of Iran, have demonstrated that while maintaining the highest level of defensive and defensive readiness, they acted upon their stated commitments with speed and precision and made their American Zionist enemies regret their actions.
This announcement by the Iranians came just minutes after President Trump posted on True Social saying, quote, both sides, Israel and Iran, are looking to do an immediate ceasefire. Final negotiations on peace are proceeding, subject to ignorance or stupidity getting in its way. The blockade will remain in place and in full force and effect until a final deal is reached. Things should move quickly. Thank you for your attention to this matter. The president spoke with Fox News overnight as this Iranian ballistic missile attack was taking place. I asked the president what his message would be for Iran. He said, what I would suggest to Iran, you shot your missiles, that's enough. Get back to the table and make a deal. The president indicated this certainly will make the negotiations more difficult, but again, he is encouraging both sides to reach an agreement. Israeli forces conducting a variety of strikes against the Iranian regime, specifically going after many of the air defense systems on the outskirts of Tehran and on the western side of Iranian territory. The Israelis also struck a petrochemical plant inside of Iran, an indication they are willing to escalate in order to de-escalate. Now tonight, Harris, the question is whether or not this ceasefire is going to hold. We do expect in about 10 minutes to hear a new announcement from Israeli Prime Minister.
Spoilers, it's not going to hold. Spoilers.
Benjamin Netanyahu. Harris?
All right, that is good to know. We will bring you back as the news warrants on that particular piece of the puzzle. Thank you very much. And focus now, Victoria Coates, former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Trump and Heritage Foundation Vice President of National Security. Great to see you. Look, there is urgency now because this looks like...
IRGC is not serious about peace? No, I don't think they are. I'm not sure any country in the Middle East is serious about, peace. Daniel says that Trump said Israel will be on their own soon. When did he say that? NUFC says, not a horror fan, watched Obsession, very well made. It is a very well made movie. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Pyromorpheus says, what would you do with $1 million? Trump turned his into $1 billion, built hotels, casinos, and offices, employed thousands of Americans. Trump 199. What would I do with $1 million? If somebody handed me $1 million today, I would put it all into Geeks and Gamers. And I would take Geeks and Gamers to the level that I've always wanted to take it to. I wouldn't take any of the money from my personal life. I would put it all into it. That's what I would do. Whether that means, studios, funding different projects, all of that, that's what I would do. But that's probably stupid at this point, but, we'll see. No, it is. That's how the really smartest move is. Put it into the business and grow the business. Dan Bass says he would buy retro games for Dan Bass. Build an empire, GG forever. That's right. That's right. So, and if anybody in the chat has $1 million that you can spare, hit your boy up, okay? Hit your boy up. But not John freaking Murdoch, because he deserves a few days off after my return stream back. He deserves a few days off. So yeah, I know he's watching. Take a few days off, though. It's all good, brother. A Culver's franchise, that would be dangerous. That would be dangerous. Mark Andre Riz says, damn, I just spent it. Sorry. Damn it. Well, you know, we'll see. We'll see. When you need it, Jeremy, you know, a week or two. I can give you a week or two to come up with it. It's not a big deal. So yeah, I give you a week or two to come up with it. Don't do anything illegal to get it. Okay? Don't do anything illegal to get it. Let's go ahead and clear that up right now. Let's make sure this is, you know, on the level. Old Salty Dog says, I told you that the latest episode of Dutton Ranch was fire. As for Marshalls, well, it's like screwing skunk. It starts bad and it doesn't get any better. You just get used to this. Yes, the latest episode of Dutton Ranch was phenomenal. And at this point in time, I mean, what are we, 5 episodes into Dutton Ranch? I am enjoying Dutton Ranch as much as Landman, which is high praise from me because I'm a huge fan of the show Landman. But Dutton Ranch is really, really good. Zwani says, damn it, now I need to stop super chatting. No, it's okay. That was just for John. So not you, Zwani. I would never tell you that.